Alright, welcome to the programme live from the Newsroom. I'm Lorenzo. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Trump has rolled back on some of Obama's Cuba policies in a speech he gave in Miami this weekend. Joining me now to talk about this is Rosie Kinsella. She's joining me from Miami. Rosie, you are Cuban American. You've been on the programme before talking about this. Thank you so much for joining us again. Let me ask you this: what do you make of his decision to roll back on these policies, and what do you make of these new policies he's put in place?
Well, so the last time I was at your show, we talked about how I felt that the ones that were getting the short end of the stick, if you would, was going to be the country, the people from Cuba, not anybody else. Along with this new law that has gone into place that I want to go into in a minute, I also want to tell you that it's my understanding that Switzerland just opened a 5-star hotel in Havana, where they will be charging between $400 and $1,200 a night. So obviously Cuba will survive, and the military will survive. It's the actual people that will end up suffering from this new law. And I saved the Miami Herald this morning because you know how there's a lot of talk about fake news and that sort of thing, and I don't want to get negative, but I feel that the public has really been deceived. And when I say the public, I mean the Cuban American that are in exile and that are also pro-Trump. So when you look at 12 of the positions that Obama had put in place with this Cuba trade, the only change has been that Americans can no longer visit Cuba on their own, and that they will be forced to stay at people's homes through Airbnb and not patronize the hotels, which are mostly owned by the military. Other than that, it's the same. Nothing else has changed. Cruises will continue. Flights will continue. The wet foot, dry foot will not be reinstated. So really and truly, all that this is doing is choking, if you would, the people in Cuba, and especially those that had already tasted a little bit of entrepreneurial skills and have been able to operate and make a little money off of tourism.
Right, and it's been reported that Cuba, quote, rejects Trump's hostile rhetoric and will continue respectful dialogue with the US. And you mentioned flights and cruises will continue, and Trump in his speech made a focus on this is for the people of Cuba. And you mentioned the hotels of Switzerland and whatnot. Do you feel that his plan will work to defund the military?
I think Trump just needed a boost because he's been having very tough weeks in the last couple of weeks, the last few weeks. So he needed a boost from the Cuban community who follows him blindly, which is a shame. But no, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with Raul Castro. What are you going to negotiate with Raul Castro? They're not going to let go of the dissidents. They're not going to do what he said last night, that they would denounce the treatment of the dissidents and this and that. Cuba doesn't care. They've shown that for over 50 years now, almost 60 years. So to me, no, the plan is not going to work. All it was a boost for Trump, and it was all political.
Alright, Rosie, that's all the time we have for today, but we certainly will pick this up tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for joining me here in the newsroom from Atlanta. We'll see you tomorrow night, same time.